everybody. My name is Todd Bright. Welcome to All in Gestures question and answer and feedback session. So we're doing Q&A tonight. If you're on Instagram or YouTube or in our member chat, welcome you guys. I could see Luke and Dory in there. Awesome. And yeah, we're gonna look at a lot of drawings tonight. So last week we had some really a really fun theme. We did a link from whatchamacallit. Oh, what is it called? The Legend of Zelda. And it was awesome. So our model, Michael, was fantastic. We had a lot of really dynamic poses and things like that. And our members, what we do every week is some of our members submit their drawings for feedback. And this is what we're going to talk about. So, but again, if you guys have any questions tonight, if you're watching and joining us on YouTube or Instagram, we're gonna talk about it. So yeah, get in there, because I could talk and draw. Yeah, that's what I do. All right. So at first, though, I wanted to have a few little announcements. We're doing something a little different tonight, because I like to throw things around. I just wanted to announce and let you guys know that we have our anniversary coming up. And it is 5 years old. We are 5 years old. And it's also coinciding with 250 workshop. We're hitting that milestone anniversary. So anyway, all that to say, we'd love for you to join us once a week. And we have our live workshop on Saturdays. And you can go to my Instagram, click on the link there. You can see all about it. Jump in the mud with us, man. But beyond that, we're just going to jump in the mud right now and do some awesome drawings. All right, first up, Mr. Corey. Thanks for submitting your stuff, Mr. Corey. Let's see here. All right, let's knock that back a little bit. Corey, I thought this was really good. You had some really good energy in this pose. I thought you captured what the model was doing pretty well, man. So I really appreciate that one. Just wanted to shout that out. We got this one. What else we got? I like this one as well. They got some pretty good, that lean there. It's kind of like that kind of moment, right, of that drama. And I thought you had that lean really nice. I wanted to take a look at this one. This was later in our workshop here. We had, let's see. Okay, what I'm going to do here is knock this back. So I was looking at this. I don't know if it was because you ran out of room on the paper or what, but I like the lean you got here. I like the chest out. That's pretty cool. I think the model was doing something opposite, but I'm going to go with what you did there. Nothing wrong with that. But what I was looking at here a little bit was, let's see, I'm also going to take a look at that head lean. When you're really thinking about, like, if you're firing a gun, right, or bow and arrow, one or the other, it's like you're going to line up your sights, right, that eyeball with that sight, with that down that sight line, and do this. And rather than up here, like you're looking over, I don't know, maybe in the movies, if you're, Maid Marian or something. But like Robin Hood, who knows what they're doing. But I would just do a little bit of a tilt there. And I also wanted to extend out that shoulder a little bit. It looks like you might have run out of paper here a little bit. The arm kind of got stubby in there. And this is just a technical tip. Going ahead and letting your drawings, your gestures, like, have their own space. I know paper can get expensive. I understand that. I burn through a lot of paper these days. But when you try to cram a bunch of drawings on a sheet, that can alter your decision making, right? Because you're trying to fit that arm onto the edge of the paper, or that leg neck butted up against this other figure, things like that. And but when you kind of let those puppies breathe, right? You're not going to be, your decision making is going to be all about the pose and what you're up to with your storytelling and things like that. So yeah, man, respect your art and do that. So anyway, that's all. That was it. Basically, just watch the proportions, get that head tilt in there when you're really thinking about aiming these things, right? Who said that? Oh, Dory said, we're 5 years old. How adorable. It's true. It is adorable. Righty? So this was a shot here of Link. Again, this is Link from Legends of Zelda. Legend of Zelda. Keep saying with an S. Why do I do that? Digging into his treasure chest here. Overall, I think it looks pretty good. I like your idea of him really, like, leaning over. I think that was a really good push on the pose there. For those of you at home here, that's the pose of him digging or opening up his chest. And this is, yeah, I think this is the same one, yeah. But I love you're pushing that pose. I just want to kind of fart around a little bit with your legs here. Knock that back a little bit more. See, just a little bit. I think this back leg got a little stiff. Just got away from me a little. But yeah, that's just being a little nitpicky. But overall, man, I love your idea. I might even extend that down a little bit more. Oops, there we go. So there it is. I almost want to simplify that statement of that back, kind of going all the way around. Okay? Just really taking advantage of like a line of action-y kind of moment there. Okay? But yeah, you can cartoon up the hat if you want. I know he had his shield strapped to his back. That was really cool. It was kind of backpack style or something. Alrighty. Yeah, just watch those perspectives on those props. But anyhow, that's all. Cool. But yeah, nice stuff this week, man. They had some good energy in those other ones I showcased earlier. So yeah. Okay, moving on. Great job. Oh wait, I want to move this over. Hang on, guys. Gonna combine this sucker. Something like that. There we go. Move that up and over there. Get it out of the way for our YouTube friends. I mean Instagram friends. All right, RW, you're next. Boop, boop. All right, what do we got? We got this one, action-y. This is one where Link is throwing the chicken. In case you guys are Legend of Zelda followers. He's totally throwing down this rooster. All right, I thought that looked pretty good. Overall, I like the energy. I could feel this moment of him heaving up this object to throw down. I think he has some really nice energy going up in that pose, RW. So nicely done. This one, let's work on this one a little bit with some mechanics. I think that would be good. Let's see here. All right, what are we gonna do? Let's knock that back. Boop. There we go. All right. So this one was a very dynamic, kind of almost superhero-ish pose of this leaning back with the shield. Very cool pose. Let's see what we can do with it. Just looking at that back leg there, kind of leaning forward. I'm gonna drop that head just like you have it below that shoulder line. That's very good. He's got that funky hat and that really cool bangs. Oh man, I love those bangs. Yeah, the Legend of Zelda costume was really fun, or Link costume. All right, so it's kind of leaning forward. So picture the torso bean, right? Kind of leaning towards us a little bit. You're gonna have that fold in the where the chest might be, and this is where the pit of the neck, right? The clavicle might come up there. Then you're gonna have all that shield holding and things like that. And so I'm just kind of tracking that because the reason I'm throwing out that torso bean is because it's a really good tool. But I'm also wanting to find my hips here. So where are those going to be at? So your hip sockets are going to be around there. You're going to have that leg kind of coming at us, right? I'm not a big fan of like drawing tubes and things, but you know, it's not a bad idea if you need to track, you know, if you're still learning those anatomies on knees and legs and things, because you know that thigh's coming at you, and then you're going to get that kneecap, and then you have the lower leg, right, shin and all that going away from you and folding back under his butt. So it's like coming at you and then going away from you, and then his foot's under there, and all of his weight is on that foot. Okay, and this leg's just kind of sticking out, looking all cool and stuff. All right. But I like that bend of the foot that you got there. I can see that arc of the whatever. Then you got that boots. That's right. He had those really cool leather boots on. And then of course your shoulder coming out here. You got your deltoid, and you got a pretty good, nice arm shape going on there. That's very fun. So yeah, that's all. Just wanted to address that leg area a little bit. Yeah, that's all I got. Okay, very good. All right, all right. Oh, good. Floaty hearts on Instagram. Thanks for the likes, guys. In case you're jumping in from Instagram, this is Q&A night, so if you have any questions, let me know. It's like, what the heck are you guys doing? You could ask that. All right, so anyway, let's move on there. Great job, RW. Miss Sarah. Sarah, such solid drawings this week. Really good. I was like, man, somebody had some fun. Really solid, really nice looking drawings. I like this Link one going away from us. That was very cool, and I'm just going to be nitpicky in details. Let's see. You're welcome, RW. Is that who was saying thanks, RW? Cool. You're so welcome. Yeah, I think everybody had some fun this week because there's some really nice drawings. Okay, there we go. Okay. Sorry, guys. I had to do a tech thing there. Let's knock that back. I think that's showing up pretty good on Instagram cut there. All right. So welcome in from Instagram. We are going over doing some feedback on gesture drawings, and it's also Q&A. So if you have any questions, let me know. We'll just chit chat. All right. So this is Link from Legend of Zelda. Really nice. So Sarah, this was really cool. You did a nice solid drawing here. The proportions look great. Everything looks good. But I will say, I think we could push it a little bit. Time to take some of this awesomeness and break it. So if I'm going to get in that pose, and this is like a purely acting thing, so it's like, okay, it's coming around. He's got this arm down. Wait, back. Left arm is down with the shield. This arm's coming around like he's going to swipe. And it's almost like I wanna just nudge it a little bit if I'm going to take this stance. Sometimes it's good to get in the pose yourself as an artist, right? So you could feel that twist. And sometimes the model is doing exactly what you have here, kind of a thing. But I feel like, how am I gonna take that extra nudge just a little bit? I almost, and this is a suggestion, but we want to try to get that life right out of each drawing, and just to push it a little bit. I love the face here. I'm not trying to mess with your face. I might drag that a little bit. Let's see. What I'm trying to do is drag that arm just a little bit more, like he had just reared back, and maybe his hand is back here rather than down here, and maybe that silhouette of that sword could be past his body and going back in space just a little bit, right? Does that make sense? So I just want a little more drag in that arm. So I might drop that shoulder a little bit, and if I do that, I might be adding a little twist, to that shoulder to get that arm back, which means his shield is going to come a little bit as well, because the model was a great pose, right? But it was almost a little rested. But when I'm thinking about it from motion and movement, I'm like, okay, how can I nudge it just a little bit, All right, let's see here. Let's turn that on. I don't know. I mean, there's nothing wrong with yours. I love yours. But I just wanted to clear, maybe it's just that silhouette. I wanted to clear that sword just a little bit more. I dropped that. Yeah, I think so. Just wanted to clear it just a little bit. I don't know. I'm being nitpicky, Sarah. I really liked your drawings this week. Somebody had some fun. All right, so this one looking good. I don't know. I might, again, a nice, solid, beautiful drawing. If anything, I might have drugged that sword a little bit as well, but I think I'm just trying stuff here. So if I'm, let's see here. The shield would be upside. I think what I'm after with these, Sarah, is I'm trying to get a little bit more force. Just a little bit. But other than that, I really dig what you did. So okay, yeah, man. Let's see. Yeah, I feel like and I'll move on. But if with that motion, that chopping motion, right, you're gonna get like the action reaction, boom, and maybe this arm would go up higher with that shield. You get that counter motion there. It's like when you're punching in martial arts, right? They train you with those simple punches to, like, this arm comes back, this arm comes forward, doom, doom, doom. Because you're going to get more power, right? So I'm just rocketing that arm back a little bit more rather than straight out. So, anywho, that's all. Okay, Dory has a question. What's up, Dory? Okay. Sorry, guys, I was listening to a question there. So, how much priority do I place into drawing routines in regards to facial expressions? I get fixated on gestures, which I love, but I think I need to diversify a bit. Yes, I say yes, diversify a bit, Dory. Always practice all the stuff, man. Practice anatomy, practice facial expressions. Yeah, I mean, with gesture drawing, and I've seen you starting to do that, with your work. But with gesture drawing, we're always talking, things move really quickly, especially with a practice like what we do on Saturday. But, do some indications like those tilts of the heads, the eyebrows, the mouth, just, get the bare bones on here. And this is Luke's drawing right here, which he did, right? And which I think is a really fun drawing, Mr. Luke. So yeah, just indicate that thing. I would start small with that, like just do like the bare bones with the head and the head shape and the the cross construction lines there of the eyes and the tilt of the head and things like that, or the rotation of the head. and then really getting in those eyes and things. So you could study like cartoony stuff. You could, make funny faces in the mirror and, like, try to draw that kind of stuff or take photographs of yourself or, friends or whoever. Um, you could look at great drawings like Milt Kahl, right? And practice some old Disney drawings. He was a master at that stuff. I think Frank Thomas also is one of my other favorites. And, um, Mark Davis, obviously, if you want to look at some of those guys with cartoony stuff. But um, that's a long-winded answer to say, yes, you should practice all of that stuff. Luke, you did great here, man. Really good. So let's talk about Mr. Luke's stuff here. I think just adding a little, I'm just going to be nitpicky because I love the drawing. It's fun, buddy. Things get a little parallel still with your work, a little boxy. Let's draw another level here. Like, for instance, the legs are a little even. This leg, you actually worked on this leg a little bit, which is good. I could see that. So let's talk about a little bit. Last week we were talking about Luke drawing a little bit more with anatomy, and not, it's not an anatomy thing, but just, it's one of those things we need to do, just to study those anatomies. And drawing the bicep here, or bicep, the deltoid going into the bicep, and then the forearm here, and you got the bone there, and then you're thinking about how that sleeve is going to wrap around the form, and just those little things. You start to draw those natural shapes in there rather than just a box form. And then obviously this was a pretty lean character, right, and a lean model, and so you can see the shapes of the chest here, and he had a belt. I forget. I'm not really looking at that at the moment, but he had like a high belt, I think. So all that to say, just adding a little more structure there, just so things don't get too boxy. Ooh, I got a shout out from Bogota, Colombia. Thanks for joining us from Bogota. I have a good buddy from Bogota. I don't know if he's from Bogota. He's from Colombia. I forget the city he's from. But thanks for joining us tonight. That's awesome. But yeah, Luke, just being a little nitpicky here, man. Floaty hearts. Thanks for the likes, guys, on the Instagrams. I think that helps say, hey, people, take a look at this over here. So thank you, guys. Any Q&A tonight. We love it. Yeah, Dory, I remember one time at Disney a long time ago. I don't know why I haven't done a whole lot more of this, but we had, I think each animator or several people would just go up in front of the class and make a facial expression, and instead of a full-blown figure drawing class, we just worked on very fast drawings of expressions just to get the bare bones on there, and it was a great exercise. So, but anyway, Mr. Luke, really nice, man. Get that out of the way. All right, what else we got here? This looks like the one we just did, and yeah, let's take a look at this. Oops, yeah, maybe we could do that. I think we did. Matt, did we do that a long time ago? An expression class? Yeah. So Mr. Matt's on the other line, and he might come join us in the studio sometime. But he's been a founding member, and he's seen it all in the last 5 years. Oh, man. Anyway, cool. All right, so this one, I feel like, the proportions got a little away, but I could tell how much fun you were having, Luke, in this class. So I'm just going to do a quick doodle here just to throw out just to extend that leg a little bit. Right. Oh, very good. So one of the themes we did a while back, guys, was Doctor Strange, and that was a good one. So if you remember, you can go back in the archives and the 250 workshop archives. So Luke, yep, I just extended out that leg a little bit. Okay, that's all. Got a little thick on the upper torso there. Just kind of honing that in. But other than that, man, fun stuff. Got some really fun energy in the poses this week. So that is all. All right, guys. Well, let's see. Let's move on to the next artist, shall we? Make some room over here. You're welcome, Luke. Sorry, guys, doing a tech thing over here to make some room. And I really love this Link theme. It was really fun. Okay, here we go. Who's up next? We have Lori. There she is, chasing a rooster. And then this one too. This is like a spinny one here. So this one, let's see here. So this one, the model was kind of, he had his feet planted and basically his hips were turned away from us, and he was kind of swinging around the sword like to the, to the back, almost like he was covering his rear end, like like somebody's coming up behind him or something. So he's like, so this one, I feel like he almost looks a little too calm, and I wonder if we need to just push that twist a little bit. So I'm gonna do what you did and what the model did with the legs here. So let's fix that. But I'm gonna go ahead and maybe push that twist a little bit more. So the the body has come around, but the hips are still 3/4 away from us a bit. So there's the butt right there. I just wrap around the shirt flap there. So picture that like he has maybe a V-neck here. I might try something a little different. So if he's sees somebody behind himself, like if I was like doing martial arts or something, and look behind me, and I went ahead and I swung my sword. Whoosh, what would my head be doing? Would it be like downward angle like that, or would it be up? But I think that feels like I couldn't do that with my neck going like that. So, because my shoulder's up here now, it's taking the space away from my neck because I just went like this. So I'm gonna come down. So how far over am I looking though? Woof. So yes, 3/4 away down. Let's see. He's got that funky hat. And he has his shield up there. He can't twist too much more physically because his hips are like here. His rib cage. They pinch in that area, right? So I feel like twisting it a little bit more and whoa, lost it. There we go. And bringing that arm back a little bit more, okay? So yeah, push those twists, especially when you see a model twist. It's like, oh, that's a good opportunity to push it. All right, cool. All right, moving on. Thank you, Miss Lori. Fun stuff. Miss. All right, very cool. I like the simplicity in this drawing. Very nice, very nice. For those of you who are on Instagram, it's Q&A night also. So if you have any questions, shout them out, man. We will catch them. You're welcome, Luke. All right, so this is one where we were doing like bows and arrows like that. Let's see, I loved how you pushed this pose, Dory. I think he was standing pretty vertical, and I like the lean forward that you did. I would just watch those proportions a little bit. And I know in your notes you had asked, about the proportion thing. I think the rest of your drawings looked really good with that. This was the only one, so yeah, just something like that. I would just, consider that thigh length, and then the other stuff will start talking to you a little bit. All right, but other than that, I dug it. All right, moving that over to our collection over here. Very nice. Okay, Instagram, you can't see it. Dory, I love this drawing, man. I thought this was fantastic. You did a great job. Yeah, I really think you had a bit of a breakthrough here. Proportions look great. Yeah. I think if I were to be nitpicky about the drawing, because I do like it, I think you had a breakthrough here, which is great. I might. Ooh, Dory said he actually tried archery lately, and it really helped with the poses. I think real life experiences really do help make us draw better. So go out and live your life. I love that. That's very cool. Anyway, just messing with the silhouette of that hand a little bit. You can see how there's a tangent, which is basically these two lines are just kind of touching like that. You call that a tangent. And I think you could just choose one way or the other, either go inside or go outside of the body line there. So I just brought mine up higher. I don't know what he's holding, but yeah. Other than that, great stuff. Alrighty, so good stuff, Dory. This one looked good. Let's see here. How many more we have? Okay. Yeah, we can do this. We got time for a few more here. Let's see. All right, doing a tech thing over here, guys. Hang on one second. Looked like you were pushing the legs around a little bit. I think the ground plane gets a little bit unclear. If that back leg is coming at us, it would be on that ground plane a little bit where it's at. But your drawing, it looks like the hips are pretty sideways, almost like a complete profile. So if that's the case, then that leg on the ground plane would need to be, here's a ground plane for you really fast. It would need to be back here, which means that the front leg, which is the model's, what is that? Left. The left leg would be here, where you have it. And then this leg would be back in space a little bit. Okay, let me erase that top line and I'll do like a quick comparison thing. All right, welcome in from Instagram over there. All right, so quick, I'll just turn it off. See, now he's a little bit more on the ground plane, like in perspective. Okay, And if you were to do the opposite and have that leg coming at us, even though it's in the back, then we'll have to do something a little different. Let's go ahead and do that. Like his butt was right there, and then it's going to go back in space, even though it's the leg, his left leg. This leg, it's going to draw like little circle thingies. I'm going to let that boot. That's what's great about props, is that boot can be, if that's his shin right here, and then his ankle, I'm sorry, the ball of his, and that's the bottom shape there. Yeah, ground planes are a good thing. But anyway, that top of that boot, kind of making a mess here, you can wrap around that calf muscle, okay? That kind of a thing, and you have folds in the boot, leather or whatever. So use that thing down here, going back down here to wrap around. Cool? It's kind of like make a decision, right? Like I was saying with that drawing before that about that hand, it's like pick a choice, you know, like make a choice instead of leaving it at a tangent. Like we do this all the time in animation stuff and illustration. There's a tendency that something is going to tangent, and you have to make a decision to clear a silhouette or go inside the form or whatever. Same thing with this leg thing. It's like, well, either turn him 3/4 so he's going at us and turn the entire body, or fix that back leg like we did in that first drawing, if that makes sense. Okay? So, anywho, that's all. You can go either way, but if you go in the middle, it gets weird. Oh, hello! Shawshank Tunes, what's up? See you over there on Instagram. Thanks for jumping in. Okay, let's move on. We have one more drawing. Let me move these. I like collecting all these little red drawings. This is Red Line Live. Look at all those red lines. Come on. Oh, we have something from Vester from YouTube. How do I be as good as you? Come draw all the time. Which is a good segue to say we are celebrating 5 years of All in Gesture Workshop. This is our feedback session, so welcome. Thanks for jumping in into the mud with us tonight. I'm looking at a bunch of drawings from our members, and we do this every Saturday. We do it, not cheetahs, which is what's on the screen right now, but we do human beings, and in my studio we have a live model once a week, and there's a recorded archive of all the episodes, and that is a lot of drawings. So 250 hours basically of drawing, and I'm a firm believer in if you really want to get better at anything, right? But I'm going to go from the drawing thing because that's my world. I got to draw all the time, you know, and I've been doing this for 35 years, right? So it's like, if I'm not drawing, I start to get rusty, okay? But when I'm drawing a lot, you get better and better. So practice, practice, practice. Yeah, that's all I got. Want to be a good animator? Got to animate. Want to get at drawing? Got to draw. Yes. Scott, this is Scott. Yes, Mr. Scott. He went out to the zoo, and he sent me some animal drawings for feedback tonight. So I grabbed this cheetah real quick. Scott, I just love how loose it is. He looks like a cheetah because he's so bony, and it's a little bit caricature-y, and I think you have some really... Scott's really great at the ground plane thing. You can see here. We were just talking about that. But I could see that shoulder blade he got there. My only thing would be he gets a little pinched where the neck would be, and but beyond that, such nice movement. And the neck here, they don't have like we do with the humans. And I know this is a quick sketch, but you sent it, so I'm gonna be nitpicky. But their muscles and stuff, it kind of goes down a little bit. Not like us where we can tilt our head all the way back. So usually quadrupeds can't do that too well. So there's going to be more of a shape like going down like that rather than the reverse angle there. But other than that, very fun, Mr. Scott. So Sasha, I'm sorry, yeah, Shawshank Tunes. Oh, Shawshank Tunes, great movie. Sir, I'm a beginner artist. How can I get in the industry for work, and how can improve over portfolio? Depends what the goal is with portfolio-wise. You could take classes with your tools. If you're doing CG stuff, you can learn Photoshop, learn all those tools and things, right? Very important. Got to have tools. But I would say getting out and drawing, um, getting out and drawing outside, getting in nature. If you want to do environments and backgrounds, getting out in plein air paint is a great thing. I still do that. We try to do it once a week. I work at Disney Imagineering and the concept team, and we go out once a week and paint together for the most part. And that's just pure practice. You're studying your composition, you're working on composition skills, you're working on your tone, meaning black and white, seeing things in the correct tones, like a grayscale, 0 to 10, right? And obviously creating color to fit within that tone. And so you're starting to learn how to tell stories with color and light and composition and leading the eye and all those things. And you could do all of that with going out and painting and observing life. And obviously going out and grabbing your sketchbook, going out drawing, focusing on that kind of a thing. I go out to cafes all the time and draw people, and I study all the little weird things that we do, like the solutions people come up with for picking up their kid, or like studying for a test or whatever, on their phone farting around. Like, observe these things. You start to file away these life experiences, right? And I just went to speak at Ringling School of Art and Design a couple weeks ago. A few of us went down to talk to them, and I was telling one student, like, you're learning all these computer skills. That's great. The industry is always going to change with tools and where the money goes and all those things, but keep fresh and work hard on your fundamentals, figure, animals, people, painting. It will serve you so well in the long term. And I could attest to that, okay, because I've been doing this a long time. And working on all those skills is really awesome. So, and it's fun. Have fun. Long-winded answer. Sorry, but it was kind of a open question in a way. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us tonight. That was the end of our members' drawings there. And yeah, that's it. I appreciate the questions. I love that stuff. Thank you to our members who've been hanging out tonight in the chat and our members chat. And this week we'll be doing Phantom of the Opera on this Saturday's workshop. So you can, those of you who are on Instagram, you can go to my bio and please give me a follow if you're not following me, and click on the link there. You'll see some links to the workshop and joining our crazy little community. So get in there, go draw, brush your teeth. Oh, sir, how can we share my work? Well, great question there, Shawshank Tunes. Today we are looking at the All in Gesture members. We have a membership, and a member benefit is they get to submit their drawings that they've done that week. Even a cheetah, evidently. And yeah, and then we take a look at it that way. So join our membership, jump in the mud with us, draw a lot, submit your work. But yes, and always post on Instagram. Get your work in front of people's eyeballs. That's always a scary and healthy thing to do. So we had a suggestion. Is there any way we can get a Ninja Turtle in the class? Yes, why not? I think we should do that. What do you think, Matt? Yeah, okay, we're gonna do it. I know, we need a limber ninja who could wear a giant VW Beetle on their back. Yeah, we'll have to look into that. That's a great idea. Okay. Luke wants to submit animals too. Okay, sure. What the heck? We'll just put elf ears on them and a hat for Link, and next week a cape for Phantom of the Opera. Anyway, well, you guys rock. I appreciate the questions. That was fun tonight. And yeah, thanks for looking at drawings with us and chit-chatting. And we will catch you either Saturday or next Wednesday here at Redline Live. All right? Okay, guys, have a good night.